Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we are finishing up the final 9 races of our second ARCA season. We're coming off of 2 back-to-back victories, including our first pole in the last episode at Lime Rock Park, and on top of that, we also did officially get the call and signed a deal with Tricon Garage in the truck series for next season, so we will be truck racing as soon as the next episode. Now, of course, in the actual game itself, you cannot sign for a real team, unfortunately, but we are just incorporating this whole idea into our own storyline, of course, to kind of add a more, I guess you could almost call it like a role-playing element, but nonetheless, we have a lot of things to focus on today, and that is trying to go on a quest for an ARCA championship, and that is going to be a difficult one because we are going to have to beat William Sawalich for the title, and he has been super consistent all season long. But we get underway here from Dover, where we just scored our second pole of the season and second back-to-back pole, and we're looking to go for 3 consecutive race wins as well. What a turnaround from, you know, less than a week ago when we were fighting for 35th at some times in this series now, but you can see, as usual, a bit of a poor start now as we head down into turn number 3 behind Jake Finch as well as Sawalich, who's out in front, but it was pretty quick when I would start to make some headway forward here, moving myself up the racetrack in the middle of the corners now, and as well you can see a big run on the exit of turn 4. This is going to be able to get myself past Jake Finch, and then we were starting to put some pressure on William Sawalich all up until I hit the outside wall. I love doing that in this game so far, of just pushing the car a little bit too hard, and then I find myself in the wall. So we drop down to 4th position, and we would start to rally back here by lap 7 of 11 to the inside of the 28 of Brendan Queen, and we'll move ourselves back into the 3rd position and then try to run down Jake Finch again and pass him again, but I didn't quite think we were going to have enough time to catch Sawalich here now as we exit turn 2 on lap 9 and to the inside of that Phoenix number 25 into turn number 3, and we should be able to get Finch through the center of 3 and 4. Yes, we will. Unfortunately, there's not going to be enough time to run down Sawalich, and I couldn't really gain on him either. He was actually stabilizing the gap, so I just didn't have anything for that number 18 in the closing lap. So William Sawalich is going to end my 2-race win streak, and he takes victory in Dover as we cross the stripe for a 2nd place result. Overall, I mean, still a pretty solid result there, and as you can see there, he beat us by about nearly 7/10 of a second. Brendan Queen got 3rd from Finch in the end, as we're going to actually buy some new parts as well, including an engine, as the parts continue to wear all throughout the season. But you can see in the top we have over $100,000 as we're 3rd in the standings going into the next race at IRP. Lucas Oil Raceway Park, I guess not Indianapolis Raceway Park, but of course the official sponsorship is Lucas Oil. But in qualifying we go P4. This was a track we really struggled at last season, so this was one I had circled as not necessarily wanting to win, but just prove that we can improve here. And we would get underway from row number 2 as the 23 of Tyler Reeves up the inside into turn number 1. It's the lead. It's of course William Sawalich now as we come through the center of the corner and getting to this outside. And it was such an interesting race last season when we came to this track. It's kind of, you know, top heavy in a sense of you want to run the top here in all corners, but of course you can move around a little bit, search for some grip. One problem I had last season was when I would kind of leave the top groove, I would really struggle for grip, so that was a bit of a challenge, but we were finding some good pace here now, and you can see Sawalich has actually lost the lead to Brendan Queen. Queen is 2nd in the standings right now. I mean, we're still down here in P3. Of course, we've won 2 races. We had a 2nd place result in Dover. Now as we're 3 wide in the middle down the front straightaway, Sawalich on the outside, the Reef on the inside. We're going to let the 23 have it there into turn number 1. He wants it more than I did right there. I'm thinking long game here where I think we can still win this race just in the smart way of just not overdriving the car, and I feel like that's something we're getting a lot better at now in this career mode in general here in our 2nd season now as we continue to run to the left rear of the 23 of Reef, who now leads this race. But of course, as we got a nice run here into turn number 1, I think we can dethrone this 23 from the top spot here, and close quarters racing through the center of 1 and 2, and on the exit of the corner we get to the lead of this race just barely, but we're still not quite clear now as he's got an edge into turn number 3, as we're just going to continue side by side here with this 23 of Tyler Reef. But as we exit turn 4, we do clear him, so we take over the lead, and we would continue to manage that gap to the final lap. And it looks like we're on track for our 3rd win of the season. Sawalich fighting in the background for P2. Now, of course, I want Sawalich to lose as many points as possible as we head down this back straightaway into 3 and 4 for the final time. Lap traffic up ahead, but we're not going to have to worry about them as we come through the center of the corner, off of turn 4, down the front straightaway. Our 3rd win of the ARCA season as we are getting hot in the final half there. As we go from P4 in qualifying to a win, we get out and celebrate another one. I really wish we could do burnouts in this game. It's really unfortunate that we can't do that now. It takes a lot away from the winning experience, but nonetheless, we do pick up another win, and you'll see there Sawalich did get queen for 2nd. Reef drops down into 5th, or 4th, sorry, as we now would buy another level 5 body, continuing to, like I said, wear out parts, so we had to buy a lot of new parts here throughout the season, but we've got plenty of money to go through, and we don't really have to worry. We're just trying to save up money for our Truck Series career, and that's really the big challenge, is we would go pole position in Iowa. When we go to Tricon Garage next season, it's going to be a start-up extra car to their team, so it's not going to be on the same level as, say, Corey Himes, number 11 Toyota Tundra, so we are going to probably struggle in the first 5 to 10 races of the Truck Series, and then I feel like after that, we should be able to get to a higher level of performance and really just focus in on making the playoffs really is the main goal, of course, in the Truck Series rookie season. We gained so much rep by staying in ARCA for a 2nd season. Of course, we didn't plan on staying here. We had to stay here, but because now that we're winning races and getting poles and leading laps, the rep is just shooting through the roof to a point where we should easily be able to unlock the Xfinity Series in our rookie truck season, so we will not have to do 2 seasons in trucks. We're just meant to do 1. Iowa was complete dominance. I would drive away from the field. However, late in the race, William Sawalich was starting to reel me in, and by the final lap, he got within a 2nd of myself here, but he's just not close enough as we come through 3 and off of turn 4 for the final time. We will hang on, and that's going to be 2 back-to-back wins again, win number 4 of our career and season here from Iowa. So we are continuing to pick up steam, but the problem is we gave up so much at the beginning of the season that I think Sawalich is going to be able to comfortably hang on unless something goes wrong, and that's what we're going to need if we're going to beat Sawalich here, is he's going to have some problems now as he ends up P2 in front of Lawless Allen and Isabella Robusto. Now as we jump straight into the next race, it's Watkins Glen. We've got 1 road course win this season. Unfortunately, I didn't show up in qualifying. We ended up qualifying in 7th position, so a little bit off of what I was hoping to accomplish, as of course we expect a lot more of ourselves when it comes to the road course racing aspect of things. Now as we head down into turn number 1, and it's Sawalich up front, unfortunately for me, so I knew we had to get after it here as we were actually 3 wide on the exit of turn 1, so getting after it, not exactly what I'm doing because we've jumped down to P10. It's a bit of an abysmal start here from Watkins Glen as we come up the elevation through the S's now, and we'll head down the straightaway towards the bus stop chicane. Overall, not what we need to be doing as we continue now just trying to defend over the cars behind, and we need to work on gaining some track position. The checkup into the bus stop is way better when you're towards the front of the field, as you would expect. Of course, when you guys remember a few episodes ago when we were at Watkins Glen and we started towards the back, and I mean everybody's just stomping on the brake pedal into the bus stop. It was really weird, but fortunately the further up the field you are, the less the effect of that checkup. Now as we've got a great run out of the carousel down into the penultimate corner, now we'll try to go around Jen Kowiak as well, and maybe even get LeVar Scott in the process here. Not quite as we exit the penultimate turn, but do we send it up the inside, right on his right rear? Couldn't quite make the move there as we stay clear on the exit of the final turn, build up a nice run, and now we're going to get ourselves back into the top 7. William Sawalich, not a great start for him as well. He's actually dropped down the order, so this gives us a bit of hope as we head down into turn number 1 behind Brendan Queen. We might actually be able to contend with Sawallich and beat him here, which would be very, very important. I mean, we pretty well got to beat him for just like the rest of the season if we're going to have any chance at winning a championship. Now, as we run down Brendan Queen, we do have the slipstream here up the elevation again and heading down that back straightaway towards that bus stop. You see Sawallich, he's all the way to the right side of the track, so when they do that, they do that right there. They stack up massively, and we're actually able to pass Sawallich there. So thank you very much, William Sawallich. Now, as we move up into P6, we get a little bit too aggressive, though. Over the curbing, we lose the rear end, and now Sawallich goes through, and will be wheel-to-wheel again with the 6 of LeVar Scott through the exit of the carousel and head down the straightaway. We'll get back clear of him, but the damage is done. Sawallich is back out in front. But out of the final turn, coming to the final lap, we built up another run on him, and we're going to be able to get back up the inside here. So although we just threw, we do at least get back to the inside of him, and we will pass him into turn number 1. So there we go, into the top 6 once again. Brendan Queen, we might be able to get Queen before the race is over, but I feel like that's about as far as we can possibly get. And as we head down this towards the final couple of corners here on the final lap, here we go up the inside of Brendan Queen. Now this is for the top 5 position. We're only going to beat Sawallich by a spot or 2, depending on who gets out of this final turn alive. Both of us will get through pretty smoothly as we head down the front straightaway, and we'll have to settle for a 5th place effort here behind Trevor Huddleston. So not what I expected from my road course expertise in this one. I thought this was going to be a race we could definitely win. Unfortunately, not the case. Tyler Reef picks up the win over Alan Robusto, Huddleston, myself to round out that top 5. Kyle Keller in the top 10. Look at the points here. We've got 2 points? 32 points we got to make up on Sawallich to win this championship, as we're both now tied at 4 wins. But he had just such a significantly better start to the season that we've got some work to do. So we're coming into Richmond now, and we just simply got to aim for qualifying in pole position if possible, and just continuing to fight for wins. And we go pole position again. Our qualifying has stepped up massively here in this final half of this season, and Sawallich is going to join us on the front row. So we already expect we're going to be a little bit slow off the start. Of course, that always seems to happen here at this point, especially on the short tracks, as we would get underway here from Richmond Raceway now, and immediately Sawallich is going to blow my doors off into turn number 1. He's not the only one. Brendan Queen as well, and even Lawless Allen comes up alongside us into turn number 1, and now would leave the door open, but fortunately we get a nice run off the exit of turn 2, so no one gets up my inside, and we're right to the back of Brendan Queen into turn number 3. We'll pull to the inside of that number 28, and we'll look to pass him through the middle of 3, and on the exit of turn 4 down this front straightaway, we move ourselves back up into P2, and I think we've got a car very capable of winning this race here against William Sawallich. We should be able to pass him in just a few laps, I would like to think. And I mean, look at us, we pull up right to the back of Sawallich, and as we come through down the back straightaway on lap 3, heading down into turn number 3, we're going to make the move up the inside, and we're going to easily cruise through into the lead of this race. Now, as he's going to try and put up a bit of a fight, but it's just not going to be enough. And now here we are in again control from Richmond Raceway, and at this point we're on cruise control. I mean, we were absolutely setting a blistering pace here, and I was just managing everything. And as we come through to a few laps to go at this point, lap 10, and you can see on the track map, I mean, Sawallich is nowhere close enough to even mount any pressure on me. So I was on cruise control here now, and this is going to be, once we cross the checkered flag, it'll be our 5th win of the season, and it's all come in like the last 7 races. So it's crazy to think what a turnaround we have had as we come through to the start of the final lap, working our way through some lap traffic here as we head down into turn number 1. In great shape now. There's Jake Bowman running in 33rd position as we exit turn 2 to the inside of the number 19, and now we just got to get through a couple more lap cars now, as we got Jonathan Rayome here in front of us in 3 and 4, but that's not going to matter. Out of turn 4 down the front straightaway, win number 5 here from Richmond Raceway will take it, and now we can focus in on the next race and continuing to close this margin to William Sawallich now, as we continue to gain, I think, what would be a 7-point difference between winning and second. So obviously we're gonna have to win quite a few more races if Sawallich is going to at least finish second, as you can see Reef, Queen, and LeVar Scott there the rest of the top 5. A few worn parts, actually. Chassis, suspension, so I had to go in and buy a brand new chassis and suspension, spend another over $10,000 here, but I mean, you can see we've got a ton of funds, over $200,000 in the bank at this point, so there's nothing really to worry about there. We could overhaul a complete car from scratch here and still not be in a concerning position. We would go pole position in Bristol, again, pole, and this is a track I kind of wanted some redemption at. We were so close to getting our first win here last season against Sawalich, didn't happen, and then when we came here back in the spring earlier this season, didn't quite have the run I thought we were capable of, but it looks like we've got the speed this time out. But Brendan Queen immediately to an early lead here now as we continue to fight back immediately through 1 and 2 now, and we've noticed a bit of a trend here recently as we seem to win 2 races, then we lose, then we win 2 races, then we lose, and we won last race in Richmond. Can we get our second consecutive win here from Bristol? We will clear the 28 on the exit of turn 2. We slide up across the nose and once again take control of this race now as Sawalich is just behind in the second position, but I don't think he's got anything for us. Again, I think we have got this race under control, just like we did in Richmond, kind of like Iowa as well. Those few races, we just kind of controlled the pace once we got to the lead, and as we come towards the tail end of this race, I mean, we would open up a gap again to Sawalich. I mean, we are continuing to really show up here in these races in this final half of the season and showcase exactly why we just signed a deal to race for Tricon Garage in the Truck Series for the next season as we come through onto the final lap already. A very uneventful race, not even a crash in Bristol, which I feel like we see quite often as we roll through 3 and off of turn 4. It's going to be another win here from the ARCA Series, win number 6 here in Bristol. Very, very happy with that one. As the trends would say, though, we're going to lose the next race. So we'll see if hopefully we can put that trend to an end here as you can see us once again celebrate another win. 6 wins on the season, but now still 19 points between myself and William Sawalich. He has got a comfortable gap as we come into Kansas Speedway at this point now in qualifying with just a few races remaining. Another pole position. We continue to show up here when it matters the most, but the question is, can we hang on? Kansas is a track that hasn't treated us that great yet, so to just be on pole was already quite rewarding as we get this race underway. Sawalich unfortunately continues to just finish second when I'm winning these races, and it's making it a lot more difficult to gain proper points on that number 18 as we roll into 1, and he's going to clear us into the corner as we come through the center. We're already 3 wide on the exit of turn 2 there as you saw Lawless Allen, Queen, Jan Kawiak, and Finch all come up into the conversation as we go down this backstretch into turn number 3. Got some help from behind as well, but overall definitely would like to not have given up all that time on this opening lap here from Kansas, but immediately, I mean, we're fighting back here into the conversation, 3 wide on the apron, and we got Sawalich leading over Queen. Now we jump back up into 3rd position, Queen to the inside of the 18, and I'm going to immediately start ripping the top. As you guys know I love to do, I can't wait to be doing this in trucks next season, Xfinity to follow, and then of course eventually the Cup Series now as we are now going to the inside of Sawalich and the 28 of Brendan Queen into turn number 3. Can we get Sawalich maybe down worse than second and win as we clear them both and go to the lead on the exit of turn 2 on lap 3. We come to lap 4 and I would make the dumb mistake and I put myself in the outside wall, and of course who was ready to pounce? None other than William Sawalich as we actually clip it on the exit of turn 4 as well, and I give up more time. So now I go from being the favorite to win this race to I just completely threw, and now we've got some time to make up here in these closing laps out to the outside of the 25 of Finch and Jan Kawiak as well. We're going to pass him coming through the tri-oval to start the final lap of this race here from Kansas. LeVar Scott, we could get him for 3rd. Sawalich is under a bit of pressure from Brendan Queen. I was really hoping Queen could maybe get past him, but I don't think it's going to happen, and we're not going to catch Queen or Sawalich. We might be able to get LeVar Scott through 3 and 4, but that's as far as this progress is going to go for this number 41 Toyota Camry for Top Tier Racing. Now as we roll through 3, ripping that top lane one more time, we'll get a big run on the exit of turn 4. Can we get Scott to the line? It's not going to happen. We'll have to settle for 4th as Sawalich wins, and the points that we just spent the last few races gaining over him, we just gave up. So it's going to make these final couple of races, 2 races to go, very difficult. And there's the trend. We win 2, we lose 1, we win 2, we lose 1, and we win 2 and then we lose one again. And now Sawallich has a 25-point margin with 2 races to go, and it kicks off with Martinsville, a track that I love dearly, as we exit turn 4 in qualifying to the start-finish line. P4, not quite a pole position, so we are off a little bit here. The short tracks for me have been kind of hit and miss when it comes to qualifying. Trevor Huddleston actually on pole position over Sawallich. Now the trends would say in the final half of the season we're probably going to win this race, but it doesn't even matter, because William Sawallich, to give up 25 points with the speed he has, he's going to have something go wrong. He's going to have to crash. If he doesn't crash, we have no hope of winning this championship here. So we do have to have him have something go very wrong for us to have any form of lifeline at all. Here we are, though, at the inside of the 28 of Brendan Queen, making some passes now, and Sawallich is in P2 behind Trevor Huddleston, who put it on pole position for this race. And as we roll through 1 and 2, we'll be able to clear this 28. And Brendan Queen actually he's just not had the best season, as we are now working on the back of Cole Raz. How about Cole Raz having a top 5 day? Of course, I see that comment almost every episode of Cole Raz top 10. Well, it looks like you're going to get that here tonight as well, but we will pass him here for the 3rd position as we come through down this front straightaway into turn number 1. And as we're going to clear Raz into turn 1, I was hoping we could, light it up and go after Sawallich and Huddleston, but it was the complete opposite. I just didn't have anything for them, so the gap was just stabilized. I couldn't close in, and if anything, I was losing time to Sawallich and Huddleston. So I just realized at this point the championship is probably gone, and it is what it is. We come to the final lap, and actually in the mix of lap traffic, Sawallich was able to pass Huddleston, unfortunately, and that's going to be pretty well a nail in the coffin unless he crashes out in Phoenix as we head down this bank straightaway into 3 and 4 for the final time. A 6-win season, and it's going to become a 5-win season for Sawallich here as we exit turn 4. Sawallich takes victory, and we have to settle for 3rd. Just did not have the speed that the 18 was able to put down. So unfortunate, and that really hurts us going into the season finale in Phoenix Raceway. And all we can do really there is go out there trying to qualify on pole and try to win again. So you see our stats going into the season finale: 6 wins of our career, 16 top 5s, 20 top 10s, 30 top 20s, 6 poles as well, which is great to have. Very happy with that, because I mean, qualifying has never really been a strong suit of mine, so to go on pole 6 times is pretty cool. We're about to hit reputation level 4 as well, as we're 31 points out. So Sawallich, he has to crash. We have to win. It's not going to happen, I don't think, but never say never. We saw Brendan Queen earlier in the season at Bristol Motor Speedway have a big accident, and that hurt his point situation. I think we saw it last season where he had that big crash at Bristol, and that completely killed his championship points situation as we come through to the final qualifying effort of this season here now, and we are officially on the cusp of moving into the Truck Series next episode, and I can't wait for you guys to see the Truck Series now as we come through to cross the stripe and we qualify on pole position here from Phoenix Raceway. So a great way to kick things off, but of course I'd imagine Sawallich is down in 4th. I thought he'd be on the front row. Queen's going to be P2 and Tyler Reef's going to be P3. Lawless Allen wrapping up the top 5 as we are about to kick off the ARCA career finale. Now, I will not be running any ARCA next season as we are green here. Can we get win number 7? As Sawallich wants to, of course, match me at 6, but he's going to get a great launch into turn 1 with Reef, and they move into 1 and 2 as we continue to drop down, and now we should be able to hang on with a better exit on the exit of turn 2. Yes, we do. So now we can come back at Sawallich here in that Starkey number 18 Toyota Camry now, as he is actually going to be making a move next season. Sawallich is going to be jumping up to the Xfinity Series. He's skipping trucks, and Sawallich is going Xfinity Series racing with Joe Gibbs Racing, as we're going to make a pass on the 28 of Reef and take over. Of course, our situation very different from William Sawallich now. We don't have the backing that he has. We have had to kind of prove our worth, so we are going to be, of course, not being as fortunate as him. We can't make that move up to Xfinity. We have to just settle for a Truck Series ride with a really good team, though, that of course, is going to be a startup, like 5th or 6th edition to that team, but it is going to be a struggle at the beginning. But what a ride it has been, and I really hope you guys are able to keep up well with these kind of last 2 episodes that were very intense, of course, with the amount of races that we were doing, but I didn't want you guys to have to sit through the exact same ARCA season all over again. I know when it comes to the lower series, you guys don't want me to spend a ton of time in them. We kind of just want to get to the good stuff, you know, and get to Xfinity and Cup as well. Can confirm the format for the truck series. We will be doing 3 races per episode of 13% length with stages, and then Xfinity we're going to jump up to 25% length when we get there, and we'll be doing 2 races per episode. And of course, when we get to the Cup series, we'll just be doing 1 race at 25% length. Hopefully by then we can mod the game, because it will be out on PC, and then it can maybe get really creative with some race lengths and stuff, just like my Heat 5 career mode, which, by the way, some people have been asking where that career mode is. It's finishing, it's on the way, don't worry, as we come through to the final lap here from Phoenix Raceway in the season finale, as we exit turn 2. No pressure whatsoever, but unfortunately, although it's going to be 7 wins in the season, it's going to be William Sawalich who's going to win the championship. We'll have to settle for P2, and Sawalich is a 4-time ARCA champion as we take our 7th win of the season, our final experience of doing a full season points format, and it showed that our struggles at the beginning of the season is what made the difference in the end, as we are going to come up short of a championship, but we do get 7 wins and 7 poles as well, so there's nothing to hang our head low on, as Sawalich ends up in P3. And that's it. Our season is over. Our ARCA career is over. Our next step is truck racing with the Tricon Garage team. Super excited for that. And yeah, I mean, we're going to take a very, very brief look at what things are going to look like here for season 3, technically. End of season 2, of course, you see there. But I mean, honestly, I mean, I'm really proud of the final half of a season we put together. I mean, once we won, the floodgates open like I predicted, and there you see we unlock the Craftsman Truck Series that will be kicking off tomorrow in the next episode. And yeah, as we go into season 3, you're going to see, I mean, we have got a ton of money, over $300,000. Our rep is at 4. Xfinity unlocks at 75,000, so we have an entire truck season to pick up 15,000 rep. That should be pretty doable as we end our ARCA career with 7 wins and 7 poles and 17 top 5s, 21 top 10s. I don't really plan on doing ARCA again in career mode, mainly because when you do multiple series, you can't simulate races for the other series, so I don't want to have to sit there and do every single race. So we're going to be simply doing truck series only and focusing in on the just improvement and climb up the ladder here for our NASCAR career, which takes a big step forward in the next episode now. And there you see, well, that's not going to be what our truck looks like, but you do see the SKF sponsor. We're going to save all that for the next episode. Truck Series action kicks off from Daytona tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.